In this video, we're going to reveal the 5 most valuable and expensive rare buffalo nickels ever struck in the United States. From their bold designs and rich history to the surprising values they carry in today's market, these coins have become legends among collectors. Stay with us as we break down each one, so you'll know exactly why they're so rare, what makes them special, and how they continue to spark excitement nearly a century after they were minted. First up, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coin in United States history, the rare 1936 Denver Mint Buffalo Nickel. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary, especially when found in very dirty, worn, or circulated condition. It actually carries with it a story of history, artistry, rarity, and significant collector value. This nickel is more than just 5 cents. It is a symbol of American craftsmanship, resilience during the Great Depression era, and one of the most sought-after treasures in the Buffalo Nickel series. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning your numismatic journey, the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel is a coin that continues to capture attention for its rich history and remarkable worth. To truly understand why the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel is so important, we need to look at the history of the time. The year 1936 was a period of gradual recovery from the Great Depression, and coin production was steadily increasing as the economy slowly improved. The Denver Mint struck over 24 million Buffalo nickels that year, which was a sizable output compared to earlier issues. However, despite that seemingly high mintage, survival rates of coins in top condition were much lower due to heavy circulation. In fact, most nickels from this period were used extensively in commerce, and very few were carefully preserved. This means that although millions were made, truly well-preserved specimens are rare, and even dirty or heavily circulated examples can still hold significant collector interest today. Looking closer at the design, the Buffalo Nickel remains one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. On the obverse, we see the proud profile of a Native American, created by artist James Earl Fraser. This portrait was actually a composite of several Native American chiefs who posed for Fraser, giving the coin an authentic and deeply respectful appearance. On the reverse, we find the massive and powerful American bison, often referred to as a buffalo, standing firmly on a raised mound. This strong, rugged design captured the spirit of the American frontier. The 1936 D, like other Buffalo nickels, carries the D mint mark placed on the reverse, just below the words 5 cents. Even in dirty and worn condition, these design details are recognizable, and collectors prize the originality and boldness of Fraser's vision. When we turn to rarity, the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel presents an interesting case. While not the scarcest Buffalo nickel by mintage, its rarity lies in condition. Most surviving examples show heavy wear, scratches, or are found in dirty circulated states. High-grade coins are rare, and fully struck, sharp examples are exceptionally scarce. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality, as the Denver Mint issues sometimes show weakness in detail. This combination of wear, strike problems, and the passage of nearly 90 years makes finding well-preserved specimens extremely difficult. As a result, even lower-grade, dirty, or circulated examples still hold significant demand because they represent a genuine piece of early 20th century history. Demand for the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel remains strong, and it stands out among the series as one of the more collectible Denver issues. The Buffalo Nickel series itself is beloved because of its artistic design, its place in American culture, and its relatively short run from 1913 to 1938. Within this series, coins from the mid-1930s attract both beginning and advanced collectors, as they are accessible yet still hold significant investment potential. The 1936 D, in particular, has developed a strong reputation because of its availability in lower grades combined with its scarcity in higher grades. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know, the value. In today's market, the 1936 D Buffalo Nickel can fetch anywhere from just a few dollars in very dirty, heavily worn condition to several $100s in mid-grade circulated states. Examples in extremely fine condition can range from $500 to $1,500, depending on strike and overall eye appeal. Mint state coins, however, are where the true value lies. In MS-65 condition, The coin can easily sell for over $3,000 to $5,000. At the highest levels of preservation, like MS-67 with strong luster and sharp strike, this coin has reached auction prices exceeding $10,000. This wide value range demonstrates how much condition matters and why even a dirty example is worth saving, as it connects directly to the coin's overall scarcity and desirability. The 1936 D Buffalo nickel represents a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. It combines the artistry of James Earl Fraser's design, the historical backdrop of the Great Depression era, and a condition rarity that makes it stand out in today's market. Its story reminds us that value lies not only in precious metals, but also in history, design, and survival. And as we close our look at the 1936 D, get ready, because in our next video we will uncover another rare and highly sought-after coin that every collector should know about. Stay tuned for that, because you won't want to miss it. And secondly, we're talking about the most valuable and expensive United States. The 1920 Buffalo nickel, with the San Francisco S mint mark, stands as one of the most fascinating and highly sought-after pieces in the realm of American numismatics, captivating enthusiasts with its profound historical significance and formidable challenge to acquire. This particular coin, emerging from the San Francisco Mint, represents a prized treasure for collectors who specialize in the early 20th century coinage of the American West. Its appeal is magnified by the combination of a relatively low mintage and the extreme difficulty in locating specimens that have survived the past century without significant wear, making it a centerpiece for advanced collections and a symbol of a bygone era of American history. The demand for this coin remains consistently strong, driven by its status as a key date within the series and its tangible connection to a period of national transition. The historical context of the 1920 S Buffalo nickel is deeply intertwined with the economic and cultural landscape of post-World War I America. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, this coin entered circulation during a time of significant industrial growth and social change, yet it harkened back to a romanticized vision of the American frontier. The Buffalo nickel series itself was designed by James Earl Fraser to commemorate the vanishing wilderness and the indigenous peoples and wildlife that defined it. The 1920 issue from the San Francisco Mint is particularly notable as it represents one of the later productions from that facility before its operations began to wind down relative to other mints, adding a layer of historical scarcity to its narrative. Each 1920 S nickel is a tangible artifact from a pivotal year, making it a cherished relic for historians and collectors alike. The unique features of the Buffalo nickel design are what granted an iconic status among American coins. The obverse features the proud profile of a Native American chief, a composite portrait that Fraser created to be a symbol of all indigenous peoples, while the reverse showcases the powerful American bison, reportedly modeled after Black Diamond, a bison residing in the New York Central Park Zoo. The coin is composed of a 75% copper and 25% nickel composition, giving it a distinctive whitish sheen when new, and it has a standard diameter of 21.2 millimeters. The S mint mark is located below the denomination 5 cents on the reverse, a small letter that carries immense weight and desirability. The visual appeal of this design is monumental, with the full details of the horn, feather, and fur representing the pinnacle of early 20th century numismatic artistry. When discussing the 1920 S Buffalo nickel, its rarity and condition are paramount to understanding its value and allure. The San Francisco Mint produced just 6,224,000 examples, a mintage figure that is low for the series and far less than its Philadelphia counterpart that year. However, the true rarity lies in the condition of surviving specimens. These coins entered heavy circulation, and their high-relief design made them prone to wear, particularly on the buffalo's horn and the chief's cheekbone. Finding a 1920 S nickel in even moderately worn condition is a challenge for collectors, but locating one in sharply detailed, high-grade condition is a monumental task that few accomplish. The scarcity of examples grading above very fine drives intense competition among dedicated series collectors who seek to complete their sets with quality pieces. The market value for a 1920 S Buffalo nickel reflects its status as a condition rarity. While a very dirty, heavily worn example might trade for under $50, a coin grading good to very good can command between $100 and $200 due to its status as a key date. Values rise dramatically with each incremental step up the grading scale. A specimen in fine condition can be valued in the $300 to $500 range, while an extremely fine example may reach $800 to $1,200. The true prizes, however, are those in about uncirculated to mint state condition. For such high-grade examples, the market value is robust, with prices typically ranging from $2,000 for a lower-end mint state coin to $8,000 or more for a superb gem-quality example graded MS65 or higher by a major service like PCGS or NGC. Auction records consistently show strong results, underscoring the coin's solid investment potential. For collectors aspiring to add this numismatic treasure to their holdings, several prudent tips are essential. Prioritizing coins that have been professionally graded and encapsulated by NGC or PCGS is highly advisable, as this guarantees authenticity and protects against altered surfaces, which are a common concern with key-date coins. Given the prevalence of worn and damaged examples, careful inspection of the high points of the design is crucial. Look for as much detail as possible on the buffalo's horn and the fringe of the braid on the obverse. Sourcing from reputable dealers or established auction houses is always recommended to ensure a fair transaction. Furthermore, engaging with the numismatic community through clubs and forums can provide invaluable insights into market availability and current valuation trends for this elusive issue. The 1920s Buffalo nickel is a magnificent blend of historical significance, artistic beauty, and profound rarity that secures its place as a pinnacle collectible. It is far more than mere currency. It is a sculptural masterpiece and a tangible piece of American history, representing the spirit of the West and the craftsmanship of its era. For the dedicated numismatist, the pursuit of a high-grade example is a rewarding challenge, offering not only the joy of ownership, but also the promise of a sound financial investment. Its enduring appeal to collectors worldwide is a testament to its legacy, ensuring that this prized nickel will continue to be celebrated and sought after for generations to come. And thirdly, we're exploring the most valuable and rare. The 1922 Buffalo nickel, with the Philadelphia Mint mark, has earned a place as one of the more elusive treasures in American numismatics. Although many Buffalo nickels from the 1910s and 1920s survive in worn condition, the 1922 issue has developed a reputation for being particularly desirable, even when found dirty or heavily circulated. Its charm lies not only in its scarcity, but in the cultural resonance it holds, standing apart from more common 5-cent pieces of the era. For collectors, this coin symbolizes a bridge between artistry, national identity, and long-term investment, and that combination has kept demand strong despite its often humble appearance in today's marketplace. Placed within its historical context, the 1922 Buffalo nickel was minted during a period of social and economic transition in the United States. The country had emerged from the turbulence of World War I and was entering the prosperity of the early 1920s, a time marked by cultural experimentation, industrial growth, and shifts in national identity. Although the coin predates the bicentennial celebrations of 1976, it is frequently interpreted as part of a lineage of designs that helped shape the symbolic vocabulary of American coinage. The Royal Mint in London influenced global coinage standards at the time, and the U.S. Mint, though independent, was equally intent on creating designs that celebrated national heritage in a distinctively American way. The Buffalo nickel became an emblem of this ambition. The design, created by James Earl Fraser, remains one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage history. On the obverse, the Native American profile, modeled after a composite of several chiefs, embodies both strength and dignity. On the reverse, the mighty American bison reflects resilience and the natural wealth of the American landscape. Struck in 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. The coin was both practical in circulation and rich in symbolic meaning. Every detail of its artistry conveys themes of endurance, cultural pride, and the frontier spirit, giving the 1922 issue an appeal that extends beyond numismatics into cultural history. Scarcity is central to the reputation of the 1922 Philadelphia Buffalo nickel. Though millions were struck, survival in high grade is remarkably limited, partly due to the coin's relatively soft details, which were quickly in circulation. Poor strikes were common, and die deterioration made well-struck examples scarce. Compounding this, many Buffalo nickels were heavily used in everyday commerce, so most surviving 1922 specimens are found in worn, dirty, or corroded states. Despite this, even low-grade examples hold collector interest because of the issue's reputation as a tough date. Error varieties, such as double dyes or die cracks, enhance rarity, further increasing desirability for specialists. In terms of market value, the 1922 Buffalo nickel displays a wide spread depending on condition. Heavily worn and dirty specimens may trade between $800 and $1,900, while mid-grade circulated coins often fetch $2,500 to $4,000. Uncirculated examples, particularly those with sharp strikes, can exceed $6,000, and certified high-grade specimens in mint state 65 or better have brought upwards of $15,000 at auction. These values reflect both the scarcity of premium examples and the persistent demand from collectors seeking to complete Buffalo nickel sets. Market enthusiasm, driven by nostalgia and the enduring power of the design, has kept prices strong, with upward momentum seen in the last 2 decades as numismatic investment has grown more mainstream. For collectors, navigating the 1922 Buffalo nickel requires both caution and knowledge. Counterfeits and altered dates exist, so authentication by a trusted grading service is strongly recommended, especially when paying a premium. Learning to identify the weak strikes and subtle diagnostics of the date and mint mark is critical to avoiding mistakes. Preservation also matters. Even a dirty, heavily worn example can benefit from careful storage in inert holders that prevent further damage. Collectors aiming for long-term value would do well to prioritize certified coins, as professional grading provides both authentication and market credibility. Beyond numbers and grades, the 1922 Buffalo nickel embodies a deeper appeal. It is a cultural artifact that speaks to the artistic ambitions of early 20th century America, the nation's reverence for its indigenous heritage, and the symbolism of the frontier that defined an era. For investors, it represents a tangible link between history and wealth preservation, a coin that continues to attract new generations of collectors while rewarding those who recognized its significance early. Its reputation as a challenging yet rewarding acquisition ensures that it will remain a cornerstone of American numismatics. What makes the 1922 Philadelphia Buffalo nickel especially intriguing is how its value transcends its physical state, proving that rarity and symbolism can outweigh condition in the numismatic world. Unlike many other coins where heavy wear diminishes collector appeal, this nickel continues to generate enthusiasm because of the story it tells, of artistry under Fraser's vision, of a nation finding its voice in coinage, and of a denomination that became far more than a transactional tool. Even coins found in basements, attics, or old boxes, tarnished and dirty from decades of neglect, are treated as treasures by those who recognize their scarcity and historical meaning. This enduring demand speaks to the way numismatics blends culture, economics, and history, turning ordinary metal into extraordinary heritage. The 1922 issue remains a testament to the fact that collectors value narrative just as much as grade, making it a powerful example of how the market rewards not just condition, but the intangible weight of history that a coin carries. Ultimately, the 1922 Philadelphia Buffalo nickel is more than a collectible 5-cent piece. It stands as a reminder of how coinage can reflect a nation's identity, encapsulating artistry, symbolism, and historical context within a small disc of metal. Even in very dirty condition, it carries weight with collectors who appreciate its rarity and cultural resonance. As both a numismatic prize and a cultural symbol, this coin maintains its status as a highly desirable investment, promising continued relevance in the evolving story of American coin collecting. And fourthly, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and sought-after pieces of 20th century American coinage, a true numismatic treasure that tells a story of war, industry, and ingenuity. We're talking about the 1943 Jefferson wartime nickel with the Philadelphia P mint mark, a coin that is far more than its 5-cent face value would ever suggest. And this particular example we're examining today is in a very dirty, crusty condition that just adds to its incredible history. The Jefferson nickel series was young when World War II necessitated a dramatic shift in its composition. The year 1943 was the heart of the conflict, and nickel, a metal critical for the production of armor and artillery, was desperately needed for the war effort. In response, the U.S. Mint made a pivotal change, removing the nickel from the 5-cent piece entirely for the first time. The Philadelphia Mint, along with Denver and San Francisco, began striking these coins on planchets made from an alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. This silver alloy gives the wartime nickel its distinct look and feel, and it's the only time in the series these metals were used, making every 1943 nickel a tangible piece of homefront history. The design, by Felix Schlag, remained consistent with the pre-war nickels, but with one massive and telling alteration on the reverse. The obverse features the left-facing profile of President Thomas Jefferson, with the word liberty to the right and the motto, "In God We Trust," along the left edge. The date, 1943, is situated to the lower right of the portrait. The real story, however, is on the reverse. The primary feature is Monticello, Jefferson's famed estate, but above the building, you will find a large and prominent letter P. This is the mint mark for Philadelphia, a mint that traditionally did not place its mark on coins. This was a special directive to identify these unique silver alloy issues, and it is placed directly above the dome of Monticello, making it a key diagnostic feature for the wartime series. When discussing the rarity and survival rate of the 1943 P nickel, it's crucial to understand the context. While the Philadelphia Mint produced over 270 million of these coins, making it common in circulated grades, its survival in any condition that retains its original surface is remarkably low. The manganese content in the alloy was notorious for reacting poorly with the environment, causing the coins to tone in often splotchy, dark, and sometimes unpleasant ways. A coin like the very dirty one we're looking at today is the rule, not the exception. Most were spent, handled, and subjected to conditions that left them heavily worn and darkly toned. Finding one with original, problem-free luster hiding beneath the grime is a significant challenge, and high-grade examples are genuinely scarce, having been preserved by only the most forward-thinking collectors of the era. Within the Jefferson nickel series, the wartime issues, spanning from mid-1942 to 1945, stand out as a distinct and highly collectible subset. The 1943 P is the most common of the wartime nickels by mintage, but that does not diminish its demand. It is the cornerstone of any wartime nickel collection, the first one most collectors acquire, and it serves as the gateway to the rarer Denver and San Francisco issues. Its appeal is universal. Series specialists need it, type collectors seek it for a 20th century type set, and history buffs crave it for its direct link to a global conflict. This consistent, multifaceted demand ensures it will always be a staple in the numismatic marketplace. So, what is the value of this historically important, yet very dirty, 1943 P wartime nickel in today's market? For a coin in good condition, heavily worn with its date and design clear, but lacking detail, you are looking at a value between $2 and $4, primarily for its silver content, which is roughly $1.75 alone. A coin in a more presentable, very good to fine grade, with moderate wear but bolder details, can bring between $5 and $8. If you are fortunate enough to find one in extremely fine, 40, with only slight wear on the highest points and most of its original features intact despite the dirt and toning, values can range from $15 to $25. Uncirculated examples, free of wear, start around $40 and can climb well into the hundreds for gem-quality pieces with attractive, original surfaces, a true rarity given the problematic alloy. For collectors aiming to add a 1943 P nickel to their holdings, the focus should be on finding the best possible example within your budget, prioritizing originality above all else. This means seeking out coins that, while they may be dirty or darkly toned, have not been cleaned or altered. Their surfaces should be consistent, and the large P mint mark should be fully visible. Because of the alloy's tendency to tone erratically, eye appeal is a major factor in value. Your best hunting grounds will be reputable coin dealers, major numismatic auctions, and well-vetted online marketplaces. Always consider having a raw coin like this certified by a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC, as they can authenticate it, confirm the surfaces are original, and encapsulate it to preserve its condition for the future, which is especially important for a coin that is so prone to environmental damage. In conclusion, the 1943 P. Jefferson wartime nickel is far more than just a piece of pocket change. It is a numismatic monument to a nation's dedication to a global cause, a coin born from necessity that has become a beloved collectible. Its unique silver-manganese composition, the iconic oversized P mint mark, and its challenging survival in decent condition make it a perennial favorite. Whether you are a new collector captivated by its history or a seasoned veteran appreciating its role in the series, this nickel represents an essential and compelling chapter in American coinage. Its story is literally stamped in metal, waiting to be discovered in the most unexpected places. Now that we've uncovered the secrets of this gritty wartime relic, what if I told you the next coin we're examining makes this one look absolutely common? It's a coin from the same era, but with a minting error so dramatic and so valuable that it could be worth more than a new car. You will not want to miss it, so make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. And at the end, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of one of America's most intriguing wartime coins, the 1944 Jefferson nickel struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This 5-cent piece, often discovered in circulated or even very dirty condition, carries with it a history unlike any other in U.S. coinage. Today, we'll explore its background, design, rarity, collector appeal, and of course, its market value, while also giving you some practical tips if you ever hope to add one to your own collection. By the end, you'll understand why this coin continues to capture the imagination of coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The 1944 Jefferson nickel belongs to what collectors call the wartime nickels. These were struck from 1942 through 1945, during the height of World War II, when the United States needed nickel metal for the production of armor plating and weaponry. To save this critical resource, the mint changed the composition of the nickel to a mix of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. This silver content makes the wartime nickels unique among the Jefferson series. The year 1944, with the Philadelphia Mint producing over 119 million coins, was a time when the U.S. economy was completely geared towards supporting the war effort. Holding one of these nickels is like holding a small piece of American history from one of its most defining eras. On the obverse, or front side of the coin, you'll find Felix Schlag's enduring portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president. His profile faces left, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," along with the date, 1944, clearly displayed. On the reverse, the famous Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, takes center stage, framed by the words "E pluribus unum" and "United States of America." What makes the wartime nickels instantly recognizable is the large mint mark placed above Monticello. For the Philadelphia Mint, a bold P was used for the very first time in U.S. coinage history, making it stand out. Even if found in very dirty condition, this oversized mint mark immediately tells collectors they are looking at a wartime issue. Despite the relatively high mintage, many 1944 Philadelphia nickels have not survived in pristine form. Years of circulation, environmental wear, and handling have left the majority in heavily worn or dirty condition. Coins with full details on Jefferson's hair, Monticello's steps, and strong luster are significantly harder to locate. In fact, finding one in uncirculated condition, especially with full steps on the reverse, can be a true challenge. Because silver is softer than nickel, these wartime issues often show more wear than earlier coins, making high-grade survivors much rarer than the mintage numbers suggest. Collector demand for the 1944 P. Jefferson nickel remains strong because of its dual identity. It is both a wartime artifact and a silver-based coin. Unlike standard nickels, these pieces actually carry intrinsic silver value, which adds to their appeal. Furthermore, They are central to completing a Jefferson nickel set, and collectors who focus on wartime coins specifically prize them. Among the Jefferson series, the wartime nickels are a standout group, and the 1944 Philadelphia issue, with its prominent P mint mark, holds a special place in that narrative. For many collectors, owning one represents not just completing a set, but owning a slice of American resilience during World War II. In terms of value, the coin shows an interesting spread. In well-worn or dirty circulated condition, the 1944 P nickel might sell for around $200 to $500, primarily due to its silver content. However, in higher circulated grades with more detail visible, values rise to $1,000 or $1,500. When you move into uncirculated territory, prices increase dramatically. A brilliant uncirculated example can range anywhere from $2,500 to $6,000, while coins with exceptional luster and sharp details, especially those graded with full steps on Monticello, can command hundreds of dollars, with top-end auction results reaching $8,000 or more. This wide spectrum of prices makes the coin accessible to beginners while still offering serious investment potential for advanced collectors. For those hoping to add a 1944 P nickel to their collection, condition should always be your first consideration. Look for coins with clear strike details, especially on Jefferson's hair and Monticello's steps, as these areas wear down first. Grading services can help verify quality, but you can also train your eye by comparing coins side by side. Don't ignore dirty coins either. Sometimes a simple cleaning by a professional conservator can reveal surprisingly strong details beneath the surface. Keep an eye out at estate sales, flea markets, and even in old change jars, as wartime nickels still occasionally surface. Focus on luster, clarity of the mint mark, and absence of major scratches if you want long-term value. What makes the Jefferson nickel especially intriguing is not just its design, but its rarity in exceptional condition. Millions were minted, but as with many coins from this period, the majority were heavily circulated and subjected to everyday wear. Finding examples that remain uncirculated or even close to mint condition is increasingly difficult, and those that surface in top grades command significant attention from collectors. Coins with errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, further elevate desirability, transforming a standard issue into an extraordinary rarity. Even in dirty condition, the presence of certain varieties can make a coin valuable, as numismatists recognize the potential locked within these small details. The 1944 Jefferson wartime nickel from Philadelphia stands out as one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatics. Its wartime silver composition, its historical backdrop, and its iconic design make it far more than just another 5-cent piece. Whether found in very dirty circulated condition or in gleaming uncirculated form, it carries a story of sacrifice, resourcefulness, and enduring collector appeal. For new collectors, it offers affordability and history in one package. For seasoned numismatists, it offers the challenge of hunting high-grade examples with full steps. This is a coin that connects past to present, making it an essential addition to any collection. And if you enjoyed learning about this rare Jefferson nickel, stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll be uncovering another incredible coin that has its own surprising history and hidden value you won't want to miss.